Steve, is Kelly Oubre playing tonight?
Kelly's not playing.
It's just lingering wrist issues from the past dunks he's had.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Is it just lingering issues from the past, like landings on dunks he's had?
Yeah, I guess he reheard it at some point during the last game a little bit, and it flared up yesterday.
Steve, I know what the Wolves record shows, but they've won 4 out of the last 5. They're getting healthy. They have their trio finally on the court playing together. Is this potentially a dangerous game?
Oh yeah, they're playing really well. Just beat Utah twice in a row. Utah's got the best record in the league, as you know. Minnesota is really playing at a high level. They're playing with confidence, and so this would be a very difficult game.
Hey, Steve, Mark, Virginia here. Good to see you.
Mark.
Hey, I was wondering, what has jumped out to you with how Steph's handled the leadership role with the guys through the ups and downs of this season, and how it compares to other years, knowing just how completely different the dynamic is?
Well, I think the way it compares to other years is that he has the seniority now that he didn't have, a few years ago. So there's a lot more on his shoulders from a leadership standpoint than there was when we had a team full of vets and mentors and guys who could kind of, keep the locker room going. And so Steph has a lot more responsibility now. He's always been capable of handling it because of who he is as a human being and just how calm and confident he is. So he's done a great job this year of just keeping us going, keeping our spirits up. The guys obviously revere him and have great confidence in him. And because he is so humble and also so talented, he's somebody people just naturally follow.
Steve, James Hill with BNC Sports. Championship DNA. This is another great opportunity to get a win on the road. Can you just talk a little bit about the mindset going into tonight's game in Minnesota?
Well, the mindset would be that we're going to play our best defensive game of the year. We were thoroughly embarrassed against Dallas. Did not appear to be ready physically, emotionally, and we got trounced. So it's important in this league to bounce back from bad losses. And I think our team has done that pretty much this year. We've done it pretty well for the most part. So I fully anticipate that we will have an edge and play a really, really good defensive game, and hopefully that gives us a chance to win.
Hey, Steve, back to Steph. Of all the great things that he's done for you guys this season, do you have a favorite performance of his, or any kind of like MVP moment that sticks out for you the most out of all of them?
It's almost impossible to answer that question because there are just so many great moments. But, the ones I'm most impressed with, honestly, are when teams sell out defensively and put their best defender on him and hound him end line to end line for 48 minutes or however long he's out there. And he still finds a way to have a monster game. So 2 that come to mind are Milwaukee a couple weeks ago. Drew Holiday is one of the best defenders in the league. He probably has Steph by 25 pounds all over him all game. And Steph just found a way to get loose and have an amazing night. And then also a Denver game last week, I guess, a couple weeks ago maybe, when Campazzo was hounding him everywhere. He's really good getting into the ball, getting underneath you. And I think in that game, Steph didn't score in the first quarter, tweaked his ankle. To watch him navigate that game and end up with 32, 34 points, whatever it was, on a great shooting percentage and lead us to a great win. Those are the ones that are astounding when just a team is so zeroed in on them and they have a guy who is capable of hounding them all game and he still finds a way. It's remarkable.
Steve, James Hill with BNC Sports. The court vision and the awareness of Draymond, he's making sure that guys get the ball with proper spacing. They're canning shots and making shots. Can you just talk about actually what Draymond has been able to do over this stretch with his assists?
Yeah, he's been fantastic. Draymond is really our point forward. He and Steph share the ball handling responsibilities. When Steph is off the ball, it's usually Draymond handling and finding him for shots, or finding open teammates because of openings or cuts or screens that we make. And Draymond's just got great vision out there, and he really likes to orchestrate the game with the ball in his hands. And when he does that, we're usually really good.
Hey, Steve, Rich, Let's Go Warriors here. Glad James asked about Draymond because I wanted to ask as well. Warriors TV just came out with your interview earlier with season ticket holders with Fitzy. And in that one.
Which interview?
The one with Fitz for season ticket holders. So that was probably a while ago. But in that one, you mentioned that your collaboration with Draymond reminds you of Phil Jackson's collaboration with Michael Jordan. So I was wondering if you could provide an example from the past of that collaboration and also maybe one from this year.
Well, this year they're more frequent because we are at the stage that we are as a team, and also Draymond's seniority with the team, the fact that we've been together for 7 years now, so we know each other so well. So I just trust him implicitly. If we have a scheme drawn up defensively that we're running, and we take a timeout, and he says to me, I think we should go away from it and do X or Y or Z. I trust him. He's the one who's out on the floor. He's the quarterback of the defense. And so we'll put our heads together either before the game or during the game and come up with what we feel is the best plan. But he is one of the very smartest basketball players I've ever been around. So it would be silly for me not to utilize his awareness, his brain as we try to navigate each game.
Thanks.
Hey, Coach, it's Marnie Gellner with Timberwolves TV. Steph Curry has had some monster games, and here in Minnesota, Karl Anthony Towns has done the same. When you are game prepping for a team and you look at like what Karl has done lately, do the numbers ever strike you, or do you come to expect a level of greatness from those kinds of players where you're just like, okay, 30 a night, that seems about right?
Yeah, I think you just kind of accept the fact that guys like that are going to get their numbers. You have to find a way to win the game despite those numbers happening on a regular basis. So what does that mean? Well, it might mean trying to take somebody else out of the game. It might be just limiting the easy stuff that you can take care of, i.e. layups, transition buckets, fouls, and then live with everything else. But I think especially these days, this is really an offensive-minded era that we're in the NBA. Guys are putting up huge numbers. The rules are skewed towards the offensive player. You have to do your very best to try to win the game with full awareness that there may not be a whole lot you can do about that player getting his points.